Okay, Crystal. I'm gonna make this the fastest video we've ever had. I don't feel like talking for 45 minutes. So I'm in the greenhouse. Boy, it is. Here, we'll go this way. Just full of tomatoes. I don't know what I was thinking. So many tomatoes. Holy cow. I've got some lemon Thai basil. No, yeah, lemon Thai basil and garlic chives growing down there. But I'll stand up. Oh, just copious, billions and billions and billions of tomatoes. I've never seen so many tomatoes in my life. Big ones, giant ones, Amish paste tomatoes. They're just so big that the branches are falling over. It's early Sunday morning. I can barely walk in here. There's just so many tomatoes. So big and healthy. It's not, it's ridiculous is what it is. What are you going to do with 17,000 pounds of tomatoes? I mean, I was thinking about it. We could buy 25-pound boxes of tomatoes from the Mennonites for $20. Anyway, this is a greenhouse. Holy crap. Oh. And now I'm outside the greenhouse. I really thought this 100-degree weather would slow these guys down, but it doesn't. It hasn't. And it looks like, look at the size of that baby. It looks like we're going to be around 90, 92 degrees the next 2 weeks. So they're just going to keep growing. That's the tomatoes. That's half the tomatoes. Here's the potatoes. My early potatoes here are starting to die. So about 3 or 4 weeks, I should be able to see what's in the buckets. All right, over here, more tomatoes. Just rows and rows and rows. These tomatoes are outdoor tomatoes, and you can see that since they're not so squished together like the ones in the greenhouse, they are more exposed to the sun. And so if you look at the leaves, they're all curling. And that was due, that's a stressful reaction to heat. And in the greenhouse, they're so close together that they shade each other. So they all take turns giving each other shade, and the leaves in there aren't curling. Out here, they're more exposed to the sun because they're farther apart. And so they've all been reacting to the heat and the sun more. But the new growth, it doesn't curl. So, but from what I read, it's just a stress reaction. It's so they don't photosynthesize as much, and they save their energy to survive the heat. Anyway, starting to get a lot of tomatoes out here. These are about 3 or 4 weeks behind, of course, the ones in the greenhouse, because we were waiting for the frosts to be over with. But there's going to be a million tomatoes out here too. You can see they're coming along. All right, let's make this quick and easy and simple and fast, so you don't have to listen to me talk all day. Up here we have the squash and the peppers. They've really taken off. Holy cow. The squash in the pot, ouch. Sorry, I'll try not to shake the camera so much today. The peppers here in the pots are doing well. Coming over here to the jalapenos, they're doing well as well. Sunflowers. I left some sunflowers in. The squash, all doing well except for one. And I'm going to show it to you and you're going to tell me what's wrong with it. You can see the summer squash, plenty of zucchini. All kinds of spaghetti, acorn, butternut, all growing very well. There's one squash though, which is a delgado. And for whatever reason, the blossoms are just falling off. And maybe you can tell me. See these? They blossom, they're not getting fertilized, but there's millions of bees. You can hear them. And the squash itself doesn't look very healthy. But there's a blossom there. And they're just falling off. Nothing's getting fertilized. And I'm wondering, is this a case where you need two different plants? Like one fertilizes the other? I don't know. Zucchini, of course. Why we plant zucchini, I have no idea. That's what I had last night. I can't eat them fast enough. I had summer squash and zucchini mixed together. Anyway, there's the squash. Over here we have the cucumbers, which have decided to grow. They were crying last time I videoed. They were such babies. Oh, it's too cold. Well, they've taken off. Yeah, I planted 2 zucchini plants. Next year it'll be 1. These are sweet peppers. They've decided to take off too. Very impressed. They look nice. Okay, onward and upward. Over here, what do you see, Ben? Over here we have another experimental potato patch. Growing like crazy. I hope there's potatoes down there. This is the one that has potatoes planted with about 12 inches of compost over the top. Nothing added, just letting it go. My red beets, they're about ready almost. Another few weeks. I have 3 lonely peppers back here, which you can tell need sun because they're long and spindly. We just don't get enough sun here. All right, over here, strawberries. What do you need to know about strawberries? Nothing. You have great strawberries up there where you're at. Cherry tree, had about 10 cherries. Need a crane to get them. They're at the very, very top. Carrots are growing well. Onions are a mess. Look at that. They're just all over each other. They're about, I don't know if they're ready or not. They're huge, but you know, whatever. All right, over here, cabbage. Cabbage is growing like mad. Look at that. They're such beautiful plants. But something got in. Something's in here, and I don't know what it is. I'll show you. Look at this. Okay, so these were cabbages that were grown under lights and transplanted. These are cabbages that I just sowed right into the bed. They're about half the size, but something's eating them. And it's big. It's not a bug. It's like a deer got in here, or there's some rabbits that are in here. I don't know. This all happened in one day. I leave the gates open during the day, and I wonder if, you know, yesterday, I got to tell you this really quick story. Yesterday, Gertie, she didn't show up the night before. She usually shows up in the evening to eat, and she didn't show up. So the next morning, I knew she would be there. So I got up at 5:30, and sure enough, she was up in the tree over the house. When I drove up, she started screaming at me to feed her. So I fed her, and as she was eating, another hawk came and landed next to her, which was like amazing. So either Gertie has friends or maybe it's a long lost relative, but I think it was a different kind of hawk, so it couldn't have been a relative. Anyway, this hawk and Gertie start screaming at each other, maybe wanted Gertie's food, and then the hawk, the new hawk, flies right at me, right over my head, and down here into the pond area by the garden. And when it's screaming down here, all of a sudden I hear a group of deer. And when deer get startled, they make a noise like a kid blowing out a candle, kind of like really loud. They do that really loud. All the deer started doing that. So the deer were here at the gate waiting for the buffet to open, I'm sure. I'm sure they come in during the day. I don't know. I should probably keep the gates closed at night. Anyway, so yeah, Gertie's coming around about every 36 hours. She comes to eat. All right. So that's cabbage. These are Brussels sprouts. This is my broccoli going to seed. It's a certain kind of broccoli. Truthfully, I don't remember what kind. And I actually think these were survival seeds. I found a package of big box of survival seeds that just said broccoli. They didn't say what kind. So I don't know. I have normal broccoli. Look at that, huh? It's growing pretty well. In a couple of weeks I'll be able to start harvesting that. But this broccoli here looks like a mixture of something. Huh, there's something in the bushes over here. I wonder if it's probably Ben. Okay, onward. Blueberries. Oh my God. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this bounty. I remember how I was whining about we didn't have any blueberries. Holy cow. They're just billions and billions. Look at that. It's chocked full. Chock full, chock full. All right, corn. Holy cow. Knee high by the 4th of July. Look at this. They're 10 feet tall. And I don't know what the date is. It's and toward the end of July, maybe. I don't know. It's like maybe the 20th. I don't know. But corn was just for fun. Remember that. We got ears. Not like we're gonna live. I'm gonna fertilize them. Not like we're gonna live on corn or anything. It's just for fun. But they're going to town. Golden beets. They're about ready too. Maybe in a couple weeks. Beautiful golden beets. Watermelon, cantaloupe, more watermelon, pumpkin. They're just gonna grow out over here onto the ground. All right, finished up. I bought 12 more. We bought 12 more blueberries. I finished their bed. So there they are. A nice long 20-foot bed. That's how I like it. I like the garden all cramped together. All right, raspberries. Holy cow. More raspberries than you can shake a stick at. Actually, the sun is making it hard to shoot that. Let me go over here. Just billions and billions of raspberries. And it looks like we're going to have 2 harvests. You can see this yellow, the ones that are kind of yellow, the branches, those are our first harvest. And then behind that, those are the new shoots. They're gonna bloom, and then we'll have a late summer harvest as well. Shooting into the sun, not very good. All right, so that's the raspberries. Daisies. So here's the blueberries again. And the corn there, blueberries, long, a dozen plants, various kinds. Over here, asparagus, growing like mad. Be good next year. Experimental bed. This is all new types of tomatoes and peppers I've never tried before. You can see we've got some green peppers, sweet peppers, some jalapenos, some more. These are early tomatoes. I've been eating them. These are my cherry tomatoes. They're orange cherry tomatoes. Don't remember the type. I have it all written down, like I really need it. Huh? And then over here, some more cherry tomatoes. Anyway, there we go. Okay, onward. Mesclun, lettuce. Let me get out of the sun. All went to seed, so I cut it all down, and I'm just gonna till it back in. The lettuce patch is about done. I've eaten all the salads I can stand. Ooh, look at that wonderful dirt. There's a weed. A few more lettuces. A few more salads, but we're about done. Too hot. The radish has gone to seed, which is what I like, because you know how I love the pods. I'd rather have pods than radishes. One radish equals 30 pods. Here they are. Oh, much better than radish, I tell you. This is just some extra orphans that I had. I had a tomato left over, a potato left over, which I just planted. It's going wild. And I had 3 cabbages that I had thinned out. And they were doing well. All right, green beans. Green beans and sunflowers. It's really hard to see, isn't it? It's because the meadow behind is all green, right? So everything is green, green, green. It's hard to tell what's going on here. But they're growing up the fence. They're doing well. My sunflower. My bush beans. And my sweet peas. They're up the fence too. The fence is 7 feet, 8 feet. I'm looking for pods. Already harvested one once, so we're waiting for the next harvest. Those are the peas. Doing well. I'm not a pea fan. I mean, they're okay. They're a lot of work. Lots of work. This one broke off. Just too tall. They snap. I don't know. They've got 2 fences behind them. They've got this fence. And then they've got this fence. All right, potatoes. This is my other bed of potatoes where I added 4 inches of compost every time they got a few inches tall. On this bed. This bed, I just threw them on the ground. Threw some hay over them, threw some compost over them, and said that's enough of that. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 different plantings of potatoes. All right, over here. Okay, remember the whiny peppers I had? Peppers that they just wouldn't do anything. Well, they've decided to grow. After 2 weeks of moping and doing nothing, they're growing. I've quit watering the garlic. It's going to be ready for harvest on Wednesday. I guess you have to let the bed dry out before you pull them. You have to pull them in the evening and then dry them. But this bed will be done next week. It'll be open. I don't know. I think I'll maybe plant carrots here. Whole thing of carrots in the late August. All right, I think that's everything. I went over my time limit. Yeah, that's everything. Yeah. Today's what, Sunday? Sunday morning. I got a lot of tomatoes today. I'll give you the parting shot, like usual, from the gates of the garden. There goes Bam. Here we go. Good light this morning. That's it. I have nothing else for you. The pond is down about 2 feet. It's very, very dry. But you wouldn't be able, compared to the rest of this county, rest of the state, we're in a meadow that's sub-irrigated. So it doesn't look very dry, does it? And it isn't exactly dry down here. But go up on the hills and get out of the valley here, and it's really dry. All right, stay away from people. Don't believe everything you read. We can communicate on that paperwork stuff another time. And take care. I love you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.